Hello out there, and I'm calling this video today an after unboxing of the CRKT sketch number 2430. And I'm calling it that because once again I tried and failed to do a good unboxing video. There was some information I left out, some information I got incorrect, and so definitely wanted to reshoot and give it another shot today. That opportunity though did afford me the chance to bring this knife and carry it to work last night and get a little bit of use on it and maybe develop my opinions on it just a little bit more than I would have right out of box. So hopefully this will help the video and give you a few more details when it comes to this new knife. All right, and this is also going to be hopefully a redemption knife for my experience with Lucas Burnley designs. Because as you may well know, I really love the CRKT Squid, which is a Burnley design. Have always liked that knife. I've had a bunch of them. But the most recent CRKT collaboration with Burnley, the Ox, I thought was sort of a swing and a miss as far as the folder goes. You know, the fixed blade seemed pretty good and looked cool, but I think the translation from fixed blade to folder just didn't work out for me, and I have a review on that knife, and it's generally not all that positive. And so when I heard about this knife, you know, and saw that it was getting announced, I think right around Blade Show, I got really excited for it and knew that I wanted to pick it up. You know, I like the look of it, but also just the opportunity to get another Burnley, and knowing how good his designs generally are, I was hoping that this one would be a whole lot better. So here it is. Here is that sketch. And what we have is a blade length of 2.75 inches, let's just say, a little bit more than that, 2 3/4 right around though. And it is 8CR13 MOV, and this seems just like a good little budget work knife. And for size comparison, let's bring out a few other knives that are either by Burnley, like the Squid, or some similar shapes and designs. So here is that Squid next to it. You can see the size difference there. Here is a CRKT Pilar, which has what I think is a sort of similar blade shape, but you know, much shorter, about 3/4 of an inch shorter there. One other knife in terms of structure that has some similarities is the Snap-on designed, the Snap-on Rave, which is a Ken Onion CRKT design. And then last but not least, the most similar in terms of overall size is this Benchmade Mini Griptilian. All right, so very similar blade length there. You can see looking at the spine that the sketch is just a little bit more chunky. And one thing that I know I tend to do is rush through things when I'm hitting on specs or just moving the knife around too much. So I'm just going to slow down for about 10 seconds, give you a look at the knife at all angles. Now you can see the liner lock up here. We've got a black PVD coating on the blade that is going to wear. I mean, it's just not going to stand up, I don't think, especially on the edges. And taking a look at the knife closed, I think it's a pretty attractive looking knife. I like the colors. On camera, this reddish color shows up more as orange, but it's like more of a red orange than an orange. So there's that. Pretty good flow through construction. But now let's get back to what we have. All right, so getting back to that blade, it is 2.75 inches. This is like a Warncliffe kind of design, and while it isn't listed anywhere, this really feels like a flat ground blade. So I'm pretty sure about that. We do also, with the blade, have a nice little ricasso, a good sharpening choil. I always appreciate that, especially in a budget knife. Stasa23 is the guy who always reminds me in his videos to look for that, so I'm always checking that out. And you can see that the grind of the knife is actually pretty even too, so they did a good job with it. We have a thumb hole opening deployment right here, and then as we move back, overall the structure of the knife gives us a weight of listed 3.3 ounces, but my scale gives us 3.4. We do have some full liners that are recessed into the knife here, which I really like. Really like that. They're recessed into the handle. and go all the way back. And that's really what reminded me of the CRKT Rave, because it has a very, very similar structure on the inside like that. And I like that touch. So we have that. The handle material here is what I got wrong in the unboxing video, actually. So the handle material here is a polymer right here, but then this is injection molded, I think, like some kind of like rubberized material, and that's what I wasn't sure about in the unboxing. I said that it was all some kind of like glass-filled nylon or FRN or something like that, but yeah, injection molded, rubberized. Still not 100% sure what all that stuff means, to be honest with you guys, but what this feels like here, this reddish part feels a whole lot like our Ontario rat model scale, like a rat 2. So as far as like grippiness and yeah, the way that it feels in the hand, and then yeah, just a rubber here, not slick, nothing really bad at all when it comes to that. I actually like it. You know, in my review just the other day of the Kershaw Natrix, I was talking about how attractive the G10 was on that knife, but just how badly milled it was and how sharp it was when you're holding it in the hand. Well, this one might have more inexpensive materials, but it affords you the ability to have a less sharp edge. You know, everything is rounded a whole lot better, and it feels pretty good in the hand as we get into ergonomics. You know, ergonomically, it might not be perfect. Anyone with large hands or someone who doesn't like a mini griptilian, I really don't think you'll like this in the hand. But, you know, down here, you can, if you go with your forefinger right here, you can get almost all 4 of your fingers onto the knife. You know, if you have larger hands than me, and you probably do, since mine are like medium to small, you'll probably only be able to get 3 fingers on the knife. But choking up right here, you know, you can get a better grip. I don't know what possibility there will be to slide if you hard use this knife. I haven't done it yet, so couldn't really tell you, but that's something that we'll figure out as we go. One thing about the jimping, as you can probably see right now, is that while it is pretty grippy, it is also recessed below the actual scales. So you can't get to it, and that happens on a number of budget knives. Sort of bothers me. I really don't like that, because it's like a tease more than anything else. I think if you were really, really engaged with this knife and like pushing down really hard, that you would be able to grip it, you know, because you'd get down in there, but otherwise it's not going to be as functional as maybe it could be. As we do move further back, you'll see that we have a backspacer here. I really like the location of the backspacer because it provides a lot of structure, but it leaves the rest of the frame of the knife, you know, flow through. So it's in a good spot. It's actually in the back and not like blocking everything in the middle. Makes it easy to clean. Really like that. And we do have a lanyard hole, a strange and odd lanyard hole, but ergonomically it doesn't like pinch or anything. Even though it's a little bit strange shaped. And I think that if you did have larger hands and you put a lanyard on this, it's in the right spot for you to be able to get a little bit of extra grip. So might be a good addition there. As far as the clip goes, it is deep carry, and it is a good one, but it is unfortunately just one position. So deep carry, tip up only, right side only. All right, so to the action of the knife. One hand opening and closing for this one is really not difficult. It's pretty easy. But the only way to open the knife is through this thumb hole. So the first time I held it, I was like, okay, where's the flipper? Because it seems like it should be a flipper, right? I mean, the design of it, the look of it, it seems like there should be a flipper on this knife, and there's not. So it really leads me to believe that this is meant to be more of a work knife. You know, just having a deployment method that isn't all that fast, you know, because this thumb hole is a little bit hard to get your thumb into and flick open. Very easy to open one-handed though. But flicking it, I've been about 50%. See? You have to give it a little wrist turn and then also push it down and up, you know, so not always the easiest thing to do, but it does work just fine. the knife opens smooth. What you can see in here, let's see if we can get this. All right, you can see that we have what looks like one bronze or brass washer in there, and then one that is most likely Teflon. So it does open and close just fine as far as smoothness. No real friction, no real issue with that, especially at the $24 price point. Not too worried about it. Lockup up and down is flawless. What I will say is over the course of opening this about 500 times, there does develop a little bit of looseness side to side as the pivot loosens up. You could Loctite it. It seems like we have a bushed pivot on this knife. So you could Loctite that in and make that a little more secure. But for me, just that daily maintenance, at the end of the day, you use it all day, see that a little bit of play develops, tighten it real quickly, not a big deal. All right, so that's basically everything I've got for the first impression of the knife, guys. You know, I carried it one day, used it a little bit, it cut just fine, was razor sharp out of the box. And overall, I think that it's going to be just a good user kind of tool, you know, nothing really fancy, no bells or whistles. The thing that I appreciate the most when it comes to this knife is that you're able to take inexpensive materials, but build a knife that's functional, you know, and what I saw with the Natrix from Kershaw and what I see sometimes from just other companies when you're trying to make budget knives and put value into budget knives is they'll try to make something fancier than it should be and skimp on the actual structure and build of the knife, you know. And in this knife, you know, with the recessed liners and the way that it locks up nicely and the way that it feels in the hand and just every part of the way that it's put together, it feels like a good sturdy little knife, you know. Not the best materials and not gonna, like I said, win any awards, but it's gonna be functional. And that's what I really like about it. So I will follow up if I have any further thoughts or different experiences. Again, this is just a very early impression, barely any use on this knife. So can't really say for sure at this point, but I do think that there was some redemption when it comes to Lucas Burnley designs, and that we have a pretty good one on our hands here. All right. So any questions, comments, complaints, suggestions, as always, let me know down below. I do have one more thing that I'm going to share with you, though. As I've done this once before, I'm going to do a secret giveaway. All right, secret giveaway for this knife right here. It's been a while since I did it. Like I said, once before, it was a lot of fun. And so the way that this is going to work is I'm not going to talk about this at all on any platform. The only way for you to find out about this giveaway is to be watching right now, 13 minutes into this video. All right, and so the giveaway is going to be for this CRKT Squid first production G10 model, Blade HQ exclusive. It is brand new. I took it out of the box for photographs. I also got the black washed one, and that's the one I'm keeping. And so this knife right here has never been carried. And I will say, as much as I love the Squid and all of the models of it, this is the best one with the G10. All right, this knife is meant to be used. The Squid is meant to be just like a mini little tank and get stuff done. And the G10 is good and grippy and makes it even more functional. So I know a lot of people like that carbon fiber version, but if you're going to use your knife, this is the one you want. So we're going to give this away. And the way that you enter is you need to be 18 years old. You need to live in the United States because unfortunately for the giveaway and for a knife of this basically, you know, low value and inexpensive knife here, just really can't ship anywhere but the US on this one. And also, the last thing you have to do is just comment on this video, I want it. All right, and that's what we did last time. It worked out really well. You can say whatever you want about the video itself. Hey, JT, great video, crappy video. The sketch looks like garbage. Sketch looks awesome. I want it. You know, as long as you put the phrase I want it into your comment, you'll be entered to win this knife. I'm going to throw some other things in there as well. I've got a Victorinox A-Locks design in there that I will throw in. I've got to find it though. Got a couple other goodies. Probably throw in a lanyard from Minnesota Knife Guy, as I always like to do, something like that. So yeah, we'll have a nice little prize package for one person, and this will run until next Wednesday. So Wednesday the 23rd at midnight, I will close this giveaway, and then we will pick a winner. All right, so yeah, thanks for watching. That's all you got to do is just say I want it, and you will be in to win this CRKT G10 squid. All right, so thanks again for watching, guys. Take care, and I will talk with you soon. Have a good one.